This is my wife's 2008 Suzuki Reno. And what happens is her window goes down, but it doesn't go back up. It just makes a weird sound when she pulls on the control to put it back up. I also put a little piece of tape here to remind her not to put her window down. Let's get to it. First thing you need to do is you need to clean out this compartment. And I will show you what it sounds like. So I have the camera as close as I can. Hopefully you can hear the sound of a broken window regulator. Maybe you have that sound too. Should probably turn the car on first. Like it's trying to work in there. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna replace that window regulator on the inside. So let's get to it. Open that up. Here it is. Window regulator and motor assembly. Last time I opened up this door panel, I remember all I needed was a Phillips head screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. The flathead did a lot of the prying to get the door panel off. There's a screw inside here. There are 3 screws here. There's a screw here for the Phillips, a screw right here, and a screw right here, and then you have one of those weird plastic pressure screws right here. Be careful of the panel here, this with the door hinge, and the controls for the side mirror. You have to be careful when you take the door panel off. Just keep those things intact. Now this screw here is kind of like what I call a pressurized screw, and when you screw it, it kind of opens up like that. So I don't know the name of that screw. Comment if you do know the name of that screw. I call it a pressure screw. I don't know what it is, but it's like a parrot beak. I don't know. Let me know what it is. Right now what I'm doing is I'm taking this part out, and it has a connector, and I will disconnect it. You'll also notice that in the door panel there's a couple snaps you can't get to, so you just use some elbow grease to pop them out. Like that. Boom. Now, I popped it out, this comes out. That's okay because you can just snap it right back in. So then you pop right here, and now you have the little lock. You just lift it over the lock and wiggle it under here. You'll also notice a plastic on the inside. I believe that keeps it waterproof, but you have to screw off with your Phillips head this part here. Take that off. This plastic is attached with some sticky stuff. So you don't want to touch it too much because you want to reapply it. Just take that down as far as you can. So you peel it away. You see these 2 screws right here? And 2 screws right here. So this is the brand new window regulator and motor, and with these bolts it's going to fit inside the door just like this, right there. Now this plastic piece here, it actually has screws already built in. There are 2 screws that are already in there on the window that I will use to attach. So this is the plastic piece that holds the window. So what I need to do now is I need to lower the window into this area, lower it down into this area so I can get those screws out and take care of that window as it sits inside the door frame. If the window's not working, I'm gonna just push the window down to get those bolts. There we are. Window's down, and I can now get to those screws. So here's something I'd recommend. I recommend getting a towel and laying the towel in the bottom part of the door frame. What that does is when I unscrew the glass from what's holding it, so that towel will protect it as I lower the glass onto the towel so it can be in place while I take off the window regulator and the motor. I'm going to hold the bottom of the glass just in case. So I'm supporting this window with my hand. See, it's off now of the track, and I'm holding up here and trying to lower it onto the towel. Now the glass is sitting safely on the towel with the glass safely in here. If you want to, you can take the whole glass out and remove it. I haven't done that, but that's an option too, or you can leave it in here. I think for the sake of this, I've never done it before, but let me see if I can actually take the glass out and remove it and put it aside so I don't have to worry about it at all. All right, seeing if I can remove the glass. Got the glass, I'm gonna put it somewhere safe. It'd be funny if I did like a shattered glass sound effect right now. For these screws, you're gonna need one of these. Forgot about that, so. One more thing you have to do is there's a little connector right here. Before you take it apart, you're gonna have to disconnect that connector that's right in here. Now when you get this pushed out and the motor pushed out, you're gonna push it up and bring it through this large opening right here. But one thing I noticed is that on the motor, the connection is a lot closer on the old one, which the connector is right here. And on the new one, it has a wire making it a longer connector. I'm not worried about that because there's a lot of room in here. This can connect, and there's so much room in there, it doesn't really matter. So just like I put it in, took it out, I'm putting it in. Goes in here. And the good thing, there's no glass in here. I don't have to worry about that glass. So I'd recommend taking the window all the way out. Last time I had the window in, I had to be very careful about dinging and scratching my wife's window. You know how to get. Ah, there it is. Whew. There's a lot of grease in the back part of the window regulator, behind this part here. So be careful not to touch it too much. Before I screw everything in, I like to do a test. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach the connector, turn the car on, put the window up and down to make sure it works before I close everything back up. So, like I said, this was a very long wire, but I'm not worried about it. Push that in. Control. So it is working, see? So that's a good sign. That's done. Time to bring the glass back in. Just want to show you again the bottom of the glass. Looks like this, and these screws will go in here, down in that plastic piece there. Good thing is that towel is in there. I can lay it on the towel safely. Again, it's very important when you put the window back in that it stays in the rubber track on both sides. And if you do it right, it will line up just right to fit back into the plastic window regulator holder. I'm going to test it one more time to make sure that window is in the right track and it can go up and down freely. And it's staying in the track. Disconnect again, reintroduce the door panel. Don't forget to take your towel back out. And now we reattach the plastic. There's also a ridge, there's a ridge right here that you have to hook the frame onto after you put the hole, this through the hole. So put it through the hole, find that ridge. Now I'm hooked into the ridge. That ridge holds this in place and then lines it up. Pop it all in. Don't forget this guy, very important. Reattach. Down. 5 clips around and just self-explanatory, just pops in. Easy. Put that in first and then screw that in to open up that part. So I'm gonna close it down. Then you screw it in. Sometimes you don't even really need to screw it. I just pushed it in. One thing left to do is to test it out one last time, make sure it works. All right, now it's time to put all my wife's stuff back in her compartment down here. Like I was never here in the first place. Close the door, start it up, and see if it works. It's in the track. It goes up. Shut it down. Perfect. It works. You can do it too. All right. That's it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you comment. Let me know what that screw is called. And tell me if you like my little video. Bye. I'm ready for the Florida weather because it rains anytime.